Welcome back to Boomer's Playground, and this will be the final video for our reaction timer app. We have a couple weird things going on. With our p tag, it's just concatenating, so we're going to want to do something with either replacing it or even, maybe doing it line by line. I think we'll just replace it. And then also we have to handle these set timeouts when we may click the button beforehand. So with so I guess actually, so the first thing I want to do is, let's just do this, and we can even do we'll just do a message. This way we can just keep rewriting to this paragraph tag, so that way we don't have line after line after line, and then we can just do like mark the top of, we'll just do like 40 pixels. And let's see what that looks like. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so let's get rid of all these guys. All right, and so now down here, what we can do is we can actually just yeah, I'm just gonna grab it in here. So in here we'll grab the message, and that will equal document.query selector, and we'll do class of message. And the reason I'm doing it is in here is I do want it to be new each time. And if I were to put it up here, we could probably still accomplish that, but it'd be a little more difficult because this only gets reset if we reset it or if the page is refreshed. So I'm just going to do it down here because it just seems like a better idea. And let's just do, so it's nice from here is we can just do message.text inner text, and then we can set that to, we'll just grab all these guys. Then we'll do, and then we should, and what's nice about this is we should get the same result. So it did cut the codes aligned down a little bit, and then let's see, message dot inner text, and let's see if it's working. All right, inner text is not a function. Okay. All right, so the class name is message, right? All right. So when you see something like this and it's saying inner text is not a function, that usually means we're not getting the right value for message. I wonder if we can just do, actually, is that true? Let's see. Okay, so yeah, so inner text is a thing. Document query selector, we're grabbing the message. Let's make sure we're getting what we think we are. Okay, so we are getting that. So why is this inner text? Okay. So we have message there. We're still within that. So we should still have access to it. Not sure why. I'm sure you guys know what it is and you're yelling at me right now. Okay, so we do get that. We do have an inner text on it. And if we don't, And if we type in there, all right, well, let's try text content, I think is another one. Oh, you know what? It's because I'm an idiot. Wow. So I didn't have an equal sign right there. So I was literally just saying this. That was the issue. All right. Okay, cool. So that looks good. So let's start it. All right, and then set again, but then you notice the green and yellow still happen. So what we really want to do, all right, so that was good. But then it refreshed. So what happens with set timeout is this is going to run regardless to when we click the spacebar. As long as we click this start the race button, this game function gets called. And all of this happens regardless to what we do. And then outside of that is when we kind of decide like, oh, hey, did you click the spacebar too early? Did you click it quick enough? And we kind of do the math. So when you do a set timeout or a set interval, and this is usually more important for set intervals because a set interval is something that runs over and over and over again on a set amount of time. So it's the same syntax. And we'll just do a second there. And then we could just do like console log racing. And so what's going to happen is racing, and every second it's going to do the same thing. And you can see here it's 4, 5, so on, so on. But the interesting thing here is we get 40. And you guys might be thinking, well, what the heck is 40? That's got nothing to do with our code. Well, when you do set interval, or if you do set timeout, it returns an ID for that timeout or that interval. And so what we can do with that is we can save that ID, and then there is a clear timeout and there is a clear interval, which again, you'll see this more often with the interval, but this is really just like kind of housekeeping, right? You want to clean these things up regardless. So like for instance, you know, when you go too early, all the lights light up. It like kind of almost breaks the system. It's just like, hey, whoa, what the heck, you suck. And then that kind of resolves our issue of it like refreshing. But that's kind of like a little hacky way to do that. And so, well, that's also only if we do it too early, but that's okay. So what we really want to do is we want to save the timeout IDs for both the green timer and the yellow timer. And we're going to have to do these outside as well, because we're going to want to have access to them in this key handler, this event listener. So here we'll do yellow timeout, and then we'll do green timeout. All right, and then in here, what we'll do is we can just do we need to make sure to do, I should bring that up too. We have this yellow timeout out here, and same with the time when green is lit. If we were to put let yellow timeout here, this is going to create a new function that is scoped to this, a new variable that is scoped to this function only. And we don't want to do that. We want access to the one out here. So we need to make sure not to use let. And so I'm going to set it equal to 0 each time, because the set timeout or the set interval will give you a non-negative number greater than 0, but will never be 0. So we don't have to worry about, like we probably could do 1, but there is a chance that that could possibly be the timeout of one of these things. And so all you have to do is we just do yellow timeout is equal to that. And we'll do green timeout is equal to that. And then when we get into here, we can do clear timeout, yellow timeout, yellow timeout. And we can do the same thing for the green timeout. And then we will want to do the same thing down here. And so what this is going to do is we probably don't need to do these, but again, this is just kind of housekeeping, kind of cleaning up stuff on the stack or the heap or in memory. But down here is where we really, really want to do it, because when we click beforehand, we don't want the timeout to keep running. We just want it to be done. And so by doing this, we now have the timeouts for both of these. I'll just do and then you'll see, well, here we won't have anything because it never ran. But let's say it runs and then we do this. You'll see we get 30 and 31. So those just happen to be, the numbers that they gave. Okay, so it looked like, okay, so we got that. Again, that's just kind of general house cleaning. It still doesn't seem like it fixed our problem with if we go too early. See how it just automatically restarts? So let's think about this. So, all right, so we click the button, we come in here, this runs, and then we click space, and then it comes down here. We check, is it this? Yes. Is time when green is lit? There wasn't, so we're going to break down here. We're going to turn them all illuminating. We're going to do all this, and then I think what we probably want to do is is game playing equals true. That way we can't keep clicking that button, and hopefully this should help with our... oh, yeah, so we have it as a const up here. Const are constants, so you can't reassign them, so that was my mistake. Okay, cool. So you'll see here, we did it too early. It tells us that, and we're done. And let's make sure it's still... Okay, so now you'll notice that didn't work. And the reason for that is we now have is game playing to true. So we click that. It comes in here. It says if not is game playing. So it's if is game playing is not true. Run that. Well, at this point, it isn't. It is true. So this will never, this statement or this check will never be a truthy check. So we won't run that. So what we need to do is down here, we need to set the, and actually we can even do down here, we'll just do is game playing equal to false. And the reason I did it out here is we could have done it in each if or else statement, but we're going to set this back to false regardless. As long as we hit space, we don't care if you hit it early or, in the time that we wanted, we will still want to set that equal to false eventually. So, okay. Oh. Okay, so why is it oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. So let's think. All right. So we're doing that. Oh, okay. I see why. So we're coming in here, and I'm hit yellow. Oh no, that wouldn't be it either, would it? Okay, so that does keep getting run for some reason. All right, so if is game playing, so we're going to set that equal to true. And then maybe if is game playing? Not sure if it's something with that. No, that wasn't it either. All right. So we run it once, we come in here, we hit space, blah, blah, blah. If time was green, okay. We set this, we do the message, we clear out the timers. It's really down here. We're gonna make them all illuminated. clear out the timers or the set timeouts, and then set the message. Wonder why it keeps replaying. Huh. That's really weird. So is game, we'll set up to 2. We'll set that timeout to 0. Set that back to undefined. Then we have start yellow timer. Blah, blah, blah. And start green. And then we should be done. Right? Is game playing? Oh, sounds good. Okay, so it's just always true for some reason. Oh, because, well, again, the game object shouldn't be getting called each time. Let's do... I doubt this is it, but I wonder... Oh, I know what's happening. Okay. Okay. So I think what's happening is I'm clicking on this start erase, and then when I hit the space bar, it's doing what we want, but it's also clicking that button again. So if I do this and then I click off, and now do that, we'll see it stopped. Click this, clicked off. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so it doesn't click there, click off. Okay, and so, okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, crap. Oh, man. So how are we going to fix that? That's an interesting one. Let's see where we're at. 17. See, this is why I like to do these live, because I'm just like, that's so crazy to me. You know what? I'm going to do this. We're going to make... Yeah, let's do this. I'm trying to make it so it's like a button that says go, but then when you click it, it will erase and it'll show us our message. So let's actually do... Let's just give it a class of go. Click to launch. And then we can do... I guess we'll just leave it like that for now. All right. And we'll do... launch button. And actually, yeah, this... Okay. So we'll do const launch button is going to equal document dot query selector launch. Is that what I named it? Oh, bless me. Sorry if I sneezed right into the microphone. Yeah, so I did do go, but let's just make this launch. So we can do this, and then here we can do... Let's do click. We'll change this to Launch button, we don't have any parameter anymore. And then here, we'll do that. And yeah, let's just do, let's just bring this button out of here. Oh. Yeah, let's give it a little bit of styling. We'll do launch. We'll just do a margin top of 20 pixels. And then what you could kind of do to make this a little more like appealing is we could get like a gas pedal or maybe like a nitrous button. And on line 62, what did I mess up? Oh. We still have the start button there. Line 62 missing a... Those are all good. That looks good. All right, I'm just gonna... Okay, cool. So this is, we're back to here. Oh, that's probably what happened right there. Okay, so we're here. Let's make sure this works. Okay, cool. So that one's still working. So now we can change this one to be launch button. We can grab the launch button here. And then we don't care about, oh, I bet you that's where the issue was, is I probably forgot to do that right there. All right, so here now we're doing launch button. We don't want key down, we want click, and all the code should remain the same. All right, and we did it too early and it still works. We'll refresh. And 0.354 seconds. So I'd say that's working well. I just wanted to check that we did it wrong first and then we did it correct the second time because I wanted to make sure that those timeouts were not still hanging around. So I think this will be it. I think I'm going to leave it at this. This will be the final video. Feel free to take this, add on to it, do different fun things, add backgrounds, maybe make it, you know, different depending on, like, pick some arbitrary amount of time, and if they get it under there, there's like a win screen or a lose screen, or like just change the color of the background, maybe even an image. But I hope you guys learned something. I really liked doing this one because the idea seemed really basic, and I think we're going to be 5 videos deep at 20 minutes of video. So, I mean, we're almost 2 hours in building something like this. And I say that, but I want you guys to know that just because I did it in 2 hours doesn't mean everybody else should do it in 2 hours. I'm sure there are people who do it a lot faster than this, and that's fine. The whole thing I wanted to show was it's not easy even for somebody who's been developing, you know, quote unquote professionally for 4 years. You know, I still hit a bunch of roadblocks, right? It still took me a second to get it set up. I found a couple bugs here or there. And we kind of had to work through those. And that's really what I'm trying to show with these videos is, you know, a lot of the guys that I watch, I get great content from them, but it's, you know, it's I don't want to say fixed, but it's like edited. And I understand why, right? They don't want you to be around for all the errors, and that's fine. But I want you guys to see that people still get errors even after they've been on the job for a little bit. So please adjust this, make changes, share your code pens in the comment section, share, you know, GitHub pages. Maybe you have it on Netlify, whatever you guys have it on, share that with us and show us what you did, make it your own. And again, this isn't going to get you a job at Google, but you know, you clean this up a little bit. This would be an okay, you know, project on your portfolio, right? Like you're showing you understand, you know, set time out. You're showing you know how to, break down some things. Like we could even take these two functions here, start yellow timer and start green timer. We could make them one generic timer and then just pass in a color. And then we could run these based on whatever the parameter that was passed in was. So maybe look into that. I'm not gonna, they're only two functions, so I'm not gonna spend a whole nother 10, 15 minutes on a video for that. But again, as always, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.